Welcome guys to my channel, and today's video is about the install nitrous very easy with using simple components, okay, which are available in almost every house. So I will make it clear to understand using simple methods possible. And also I will after I install this, I will tell you about all the accessories or installation of them, like the purge kit, like the nitrous window switch, and remote bottle opener, like bottle heater, remote gauge, and all the other components, how to use the fuses, relays and wiring, every component I will tell you about this. Let's start the video. Okay guys, it's time to start our video with installing the cylinder. It's very easy. These are the clamps which came with, but before we go to the installing, first it is very important to determine which angle you will be mounting it. Either you will be mounting it upright, down, or this position. So that depends on what siphon tube this has, okay. This one has straight siphon tube, so the pipe is straight. So we have to mount this one at straight degree angle. In some cylinder there is the angle of the siphon tube that you have to mount with the 45 degree angle, so that always the siphon tube is dipped. For example, in this cylinder, big one, the siphon tube is at 45 degree angle, okay, like this, 45 degree angle. So when we mount it, we should mount it like this, okay, and the sticker should be facing toward you, okay. So when you have less nitrous less, the siphon tube is always dipped and you will get the nitrous even at the end, okay. So the sticker is always point towards the upward, okay. That's the direction of the siphon tube inside, okay. That mark I have made. So we will be mounting this at this angle, and this also is shown in the clips the company sends, okay. Look at this clip. This is longer, this is short. So when we will mount it, this will be higher than other one. This is also shown in the clip. Now the mounting is easy. Just you have to decide a point, then just mark it with any marker or Sharpie. You want to mark it, the 2 marks here, 2 here, okay, for the other clip. And then if you want to mount it in the plastic, you have to use the drill machine. If not, then you can simply use a screwdriver, thus heat it the tip, or you can use the butane torch. And for example, if this is the plastic, then it will be easy to do a hole in it, okay. So that way you will mount. Just use the nut bolts to fix it, okay, and make sure you don't have any important structure, wiring, etc. behind this. And this is different for every car. For example, in CRZ, it's very easy to remove this plastic. For example, if I mount at this spot, there is a spot behind it, and if I want to mount it in the metal, I have to use a drill machine. But make sure no important structure is on the other side. Okay, so it is easy for the car is different. Here's also another plastic, easy to remove. So it will be more easier in this car rather removing the plastic in there. So it depends on your car. So next we another thing I forgot to mention, the lining of this clip, NX and rubber, but this is not so good quality. Look at that, already being cracked here, okay. So I have found another alternative. These can be available at the pet shops, the dog collar, or you can use your old jeans belt. That this is very strong leather, so that will be lined up nicely and it will be more secure, okay. And that will not harm any paint of this cylinder, and will be more firm with this thick leather straps, okay. So that's the little motive I wanted to share. Let's go now to the pass a line from here and a wire in the engine compartment and passing through the firewall. On the nitrous bottle, you have most common is the N4 fitting. So your main line which came with the kit easily will connect to this line. Just tight it with the hand, and if you don't have the AN wrench, then you can use this 14 mm key. Very easy. Just tight it and just slightly, okay. You don't need to force them, okay. The advantage of AN line is they don't require any sealant, okay. They are tapered, and when you tight them, they have airtight seal, okay. So that's the advantage of AN lines, which these all nitrous uses. But on the back side we have the NPT, the National Pipe Taper. That requires usually that does not require any sealant. It is tapered. This end is smaller, this end is wider. So when you tight it in a fitting, where is the solenoid? So this is the solenoid. So when you tight these fittings, you can see it is being tightened easily. But this thread here are bigger. So as I keep tightening it, now it is hard. So when I turn it, what will happen is, as these threads are bigger, the metal will intermingle with each other, and they will make an airtight seal. Okay, so if you are first time tightening them, you do not need a sealant. If you have, for example, removed this for some reason, and now these threads are already intermingled, so then you can use a sealant over this. The recommended is liquid Teflon. So solid Teflon, what will happen is that will break and clog your nitrous opening, okay. And I have found that more than liquid Teflon, JB weld also works very well, okay. So when we will installing the solenoid, I will be briefing these settings to you. Let's fit the cylinder and pass the line from the trunk to the engine compartment. Okay, so let's suppose we have mounted the cylinder. Now we have connected our air main line, and then we have passed it. You will pass it as you like from the car, just to show you. Now we have passed this, and there is a hole in the firewall, okay, so you can pass it from here. And plus, when you are passing this, also pass a wire, any wire you can use, and through this, okay. That wire, I will tell you later on how will we use that wire to activate the nitrous. But just pass one wire or two wire if you want also use the nitrous purge kit, okay. So one or two wires, it's not it's better always to pass more wires. Later on, if you don't need, then you can pull something out, okay. So for the demonstration purposes, let's suppose we have passed the wire and this line, okay, to the engine compartment. So as you can see, my fit has very much crowded engine compartment. It has already turbo installed K24, and the hood is very short. As you can see, this is just the hood, and half the engine is behind. So for the further installation guide, I will demonstrate on my Honda CRZ. This has also turbo in it, K24. So this has lot of room. So I will demonstrate on it how we will proceed further. Okay, so let's suppose we have passed the wire and the main line through the engine firewall, rubber grommet, and so next will be your nitrous solenoid, okay. So it is already mentioned over this is the nitrous solenoid, brand new, and one is labeled as out and other is labeled as in. So okay, on the outside you will use the AN3. This is the this bigger one is the AN4, and this is the AN3. On the outside we will use NPT 1/8 to AN3, okay. On the inside we will use 1/8 NPT to AN4, okay. So let's suppose we have already tightened it, and now as I was mentioning earlier, what should we use over them. So here what I have, it is highly unrecommended to use this Teflon, okay, because what happen is when this is tightened, this Teflon which is inside breaks and sometimes blocks these solenoids, okay. So using of this type of Teflon is not recommended, okay. So next comes the liquid Teflon, okay. This is the liquid Teflon. So but use it with the toothpick, earbud, just a small amount, and just apply. Don't apply at the top, just apply on the slightly back side, okay. And I found another thing which works just more effective than this one is the JB weld, okay. The famous JB weld, it works very well, or you can use the locally made epoxy, but this one is the best. This one is second one you can use a thread sealant, but I recommend JB Weld. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now we have installed our AN4 and AN3 fitting, and where we have in, we will use to connect it on the main line. Okay, this is our in, and we will connect our fogger, the nitrous side. This is also labeled here. This is the Priyana kit. So this one is the blue one is the nitrous, and other side we will connect it like here. Okay, so it's connected. I repeat, for AN setting, you do not need to very much tighten them, just a little one. Okay, this is the mainline kit. These solenoids are so light, and they are meant to be just hanging inside. Okay, there is no point given them to mount them with the any shield or something, because the line is so much short. If you to install it there, how will this line reach there? Okay, so the company provided them just enough so that these will be hanging like this. Okay, we have no other alternative. Okay, so next we will be doing how to install our fogger in it, and then I will be telling you how to tap your fuel line. Okay guys, so as this engine is modified, this one is turbo, so we will not be demonstration on that. So this is my older intake manifold, so for demonstration purposes I will be using this. This is the throttle body portion. This was the throttle body, I have removed it, and this is the intake, and this was the air box. Okay, the most important component is this is the mass airflow sensor. Okay, so your nitrous will go after this, and this also contains air temperature sensor. If the nitrous is installed before that, the air will be decreased, the temperature will be down very much, and the computer ECG will be confused and it will give you error. Okay, so always install after the MAF sensor, MAF sensor. Okay, if your car is older, so this will not have the MAF sensor, but a sensor like this. This is air temperature sensor. If for example this temperature sensor is here, then the fogger will be after this. Okay, and before throttle body. If this sensor is here on your desired location, just install a fogger after that, and that will be pointed toward the throttle body. So this is my air temperature sensor, this is throttle body, and depending on my engine compartment, I can install it here, 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 here. Okay, so before throttle body and after the MAF or the air temperature sensor. Let's proceed forward how to install it. Okay, now I prefer such location in which your hand can reach from the other side, because once you drill a hole, then the fogger will be inserted from one side and you will insert the nut from the other side. Okay, so for example, I cannot use this location. Okay, this is air filter, this is MAF sensor, so only location for me is around here, here or here. So I choose this one. This is the best one, and because here is the engine compartment, so this is the location is best. So to make a hole, as most modern cars have a plastic manifold, so if you have a drill machine, just make a hole, and if you not have a drill machine, then the same method, just heat up a screwdriver or something and just make a hole, and if you want to make it bigger, just heat it further and just rotate it like this, so the hole will be bigger. So just install your fogger like this and insert it further, and then on the further side just clamp this, tighten the other check nut. Okay, so the most important point is the fogger pointing. This should be pointing toward the engine or your throttle body. Okay, this hole, okay, this has a hole in it, this will be pointing toward the engine. Okay, this is the throttle body, so toward the engine. And to secure it, if you don't use the check nut on the other side, or you don't have access of putting hand to the other side, then you can also use the zip tie, pass it from here, but that is the temporary solution. For example, if you want to use for nitrous for 1 to 2 race, then you can use the zip tie method.